I'm here this evening with Mary Rodriguez, the director of Washington and Lee Department of Theater and Dance production of Arsenic and Old Lace. Mary is a senior, class of 2013, and a theater major.
Yes.
So tonight was opening night of the production here, your honors thesis in directing a main stage production for the department. What do you think was the most challenging part of being involved as the director of this project?
Well, the most challenging part really of life or theater or anything is just learning how to communicate with people. It was a little bit difficult being a student director because I had to relate to my peers as though I were in charge of them, which I basically was. But I had to straddle that line where, I live with like 4 of the actors. And so I had to tell them, when I come home, I'm just me. But when I'm there, doing rehearsal, then we have to make sure that we can maintain our professional relationship. And they were really great about it. And just learning how so many different people, there are 13 people in the cast, learning how so many different people communicate and communicate ideas. Because I would ask somebody, do you understand? And they would say, yeah, I understand. And then the next day they would be like, you know what, I don't understand. So, okay, we're going to do it like this and explain it like this. So it's kind of teaching somebody to do a role in the way that you see it being done with their input also. Mm-hmm.
Having the larger resources, I know you've done a lot of projects here in the department, but this is probably the biggest in terms of the amount of resources supporting your work directly. How was that challenging or different in this project?
It was really weird. It's still strange to me because this is such a beautiful set you designed, and it just that usually I'm used to working with 2 gray chairs and a gray table, which I feel like you can do great work with. But at the same time, just asking, hey, can I have a rope? Here, have a rope. Well, can I have some wine glasses? Here, have some wine glasses. Can I have wine in the glasses? Yes, here, have some wine. It's like, is there no end? What can I do? I don't think I asked for anything that we couldn't actually achieve because it's just so new to me to actually be able to obtain everything that I actually see in my head. Mm-hmm. So it was great. And also just the being able to bounce ideas off of people, like off of you, where, not everybody in the department is necessarily a director, but everybody has seen enough shows that they know what's going on. So it was great to be able to be around all of that experience and all of that know-how also.
What do you think was the most rewarding part of the process? What did you end up, maybe you're still a little too close to it, but what has brought you the most joy in working on this production?
Well, just kind of seeing how the cast has actually taken it as their own has brought me a lot of joy, because at first it was just me choosing the play and reading it and everything, and then me thinking through all of the characters and me doing the blocking, and then they showed up and they started to do it with me, and so it started to become us. So what we're doing the show now, and that's brought me a lot of joy, because when you're alone in your room doing blocking, it's not that lonely because it's a creative process and you don't think about it so much, but it's just so much more rewarding when you're with people. Mm-hmm.
What was the impetus to lead you to choose this particular production, a play written in 1939, first performed in 1941? What made you choose this play today in 2013?
Well, I had seen the show. It's one of the earliest shows that I remember seeing. My aunt took me to see it when I was 11, something like that, and I just thought it was so funny. It was kind of funny because so many people said, "Oh, that's such a great movie. I didn't know they made it into a play." At that point, I just kind of didn't say anything, but yeah, it's just such an iconic piece. Even though it was written in 1939, first performed in 1941, that's part of the reason I chose it, because it's set in September 1941. It was written in 39, and December 41 was Pearl Harbor. So there's a lot of innocence to it, because, World War I had happened, but World War II still hadn't. And so when there's a line about Hitler, it's more innocent because they didn't know about the Holocaust. And I liked that about the show, that it was dark, but it was also just so funny.
When was the moment in your career here at Washington and Lee where you knew that you could do this?
I think probably when I was not directing, stage managing cabaret, because it was then that I learned that because I've said before, I'm not that organized, except when I set my mind to it. And during cabaret, I definitely set my mind to it. And so I really got a sense of what I could do, and what I could do is a lot more than I actually had anticipated. So I thought, well, okay, if this is going well, then let's try some directing. And so I did.
Thank you, Mary Rodriguez.
Thank you, Sean Paul Evans.